Regardless of who we are now as adults, it's like we've all been impulsive, mischievous, curious kids. And that's Groot, that's who he is at his heart. Like I think we can all, we see that inner Groot child in all of us, and it makes it really relatable.
Kirsten, congratulations on I Am Groot season 2. I love season 1, and season 2 has that same charm and same energy. It is fantastic. Now, did knowing Groot, who Groot grows into, have an impact on the shorts for season 2 at all?
I think that was in production, they were both sort of like these side by side, secretive things. So there actually wasn't much cross pollination there. I think like we sort of got to play in our season 1 sandbox, and our challenge to ourselves was just like, how can we make it weirder and wilder and like up the ante even more with Groot in season 2? So that was kind of like our angle in.
Season 1 has a great cameo from Bradley Cooper as Rocket. And this season has another great cameo, which I won't spoil here. But how did that all come about, and how early on in the process did you guys know that you were getting that special guest in episode 5?
We think we knew pretty early on, because it was one of our, like when we pick the episodes, we basically write log lines for like 30 different episodes. And then the execs sort of choose the ones that they like the most. And so that's where we end up with our 5. And so the episode that you're mentioning is one of the ones that they chose. So they were sort of like preordaining, they were like sort of like giving us that blessing to go ahead and pursue it, because they knew that like he would be able to be involved. So that was really exciting from a writing standpoint too, because we got to write some pretty fun, ridiculous things for our fun guest cameo.
And it's such a fun connective tissue with the MCU as well, having that guest come in. Now, you said that you wrote about 30 different log lines, and we've only seen in total at this point 10 episodes. So does that mean that we have room for a season 3, 4, 5, 6?
It depends if they want to make all of them, but there's definitely no shortage of ideas on our end. We came up with like a whole ton.
That's incredible. Now, I loved Rocket's appearance in this first season. Would you like to bring more Guardians in to I Am Groot as the series progresses in the future?
I mean, that would be super cool. We definitely have had this this tradition, I guess, at this point of having like one special guest each season. So who knows?
Why do you think so many people are drawn to Baby Groot? I mean, for me, I feel like now he's become the most iconic symbol of Groot at this point. So why do you think people are just drawn to Baby Groot?
I think he's just easy to relate to, especially like as a kid. It's like we've all been there as kids, and like regardless of who we are now as adults, it's like we've all been impulsive, mischievous, curious kids. And that's Groot, that's who he is at his heart. Like I think we can all, we see that inner Groot child in all of us, and it makes it really relatable.
What did you learn from I Am Groot's first season that you carried with you to the second season?
I mean, we, like everything, the first season, we kind of were sort of figuring it out from the drawing board. And it was also one of Marvel Animation's, I think, second show, like after What If. So, we sort of figured out our whole pipeline and got in the groove of this character through writing that season 1. And so then by the time we got to season 2, I just felt like, we were just go time. That machine was running and was like very efficient at that point. So it was actually, it was such a pleasure to continue on to do season 2. And I think we were really able to, to look at the whole picture and say like, hey, how can we make these even better the second time? So that was it was a fun thing, to be able to do.
Now, I know this question's almost like asking which one's your favorite baby, but in season 1, now that time has kind of passed, sitting back and looking at it, what was your favorite episode from season 1, and which episode in season 2 are you most excited for audiences to explore?
Yeah, I think from season 1, I think my favorite might be the bath one where he takes the bath. I still can't remember the actual title of it, but I always call it Groot Takes a Bath. And then, because it was just so playful, we got to just be really silly. And then for season 2, I'm really proud of all 5 of them. Truly, it's hard to pick a favorite child, but I would say like highlights for me. The one where Groot kind of has to show his parenting skills is very autobiographical for me. Also really excited about our Snow episode because of that villain in there. We were really, really excited about that villain. And then, of course, like him him getting the schnoz is like pretty ridiculous. So I was happy they let us go there.
Can you talk about the creative process when developing I Am Groot? And how involved is James Gunn or Kevin Feige with some of these stories and outlines?
They give us a lot of creative freedom. So it's pretty much us creating those log lines, like really just from whatever place we want to come at it. We're just like totally spitballing. And then once we come up with that list, I mean, that's like their choices on that list, like the 5 that they pick. I mean, that's most of the input, which is pretty great for our team because they really give us a really long leash and a lot of freedom. So it's been an amazing project to work on in that regards. Like they have a lot of trust in us, and our team was like very, very supported along the way to kind of just see our vision through and have a lot of fun and get really weird with it. I mean, like speaking of that nose episode, I was so shocked that they picked that one off the log lines. Like that would have been the last one I would have thought that they picked. But even all throughout the process of it, Brad, one of our top executives, I think that's still one of his favorite episodes. Like, and in my mind, it's the weirdest one. So I was like, cool. That's just a testament to how awesome these people are that they let us just go there.
I love these. They almost remind me of the Pixar shorts a little bit, except for Marvel. Now, you've done I Am Groot season 1 and season 2. Are there any other Marvel characters that you want to explore further through this form of storytelling?
Groot really is one of my favorites. Like I felt very lucky that they came to me with Groot specifically because I'm like, I honestly don't know a ton about superheroes, or I didn't before I came into this project. Now I know a lot, but yeah, when they were like, it's a tree that's a superhero, I was like, of course, that's like my that's my ideal. So I don't know, Groot's kind of my baby. I feel like maybe he's the only one for me.
What other characters would you want to see Groot interact with from the MCU?
I mean, that could be incredible. I mean, I think more stories, with him and the Guardians. I think earlier I was just like, what would like Avengers Muppet Babies be? Like that would be really cool.
That sounds amazing. It's incredible. Now, this season, there's an episode that feels like kind of pays homage, I think, to Indiana Jones. It's that same episode with that guest star. Are there any other kind of like classic movies or stories that you'd like to play with in this genre with I Am Groot?
Classic movies and stories, like on...
Yeah, because that episode 5 kind of feels like it pulls a little bit from like Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, that was definitely a big reference for us and really fun. Yeah, I feel like there's been a few of the episodes where we're like, oh yeah, we get to like put a little bit of this genre in there and this genre in there. And like even in season 1, we had like sort of almost like a horror thing, So like I feel like it's been, even in season 2, like I think we didn't go as heavy into the different genres as we did in season 1, but there always is like we kind of get to go all over the galaxy. Like we get to go so many places. Like sometimes he's just playing in his room and it's like he's in his comfort zone. And then sometimes we get to create this whole like crazy snow world. Like I'm thinking about that snow thing now just makes me think about like Star Wars. It makes me think about
yes,
like,
totally.
I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so like I'm sure all of these things are like subconscious things that are just like coming out, and I'm not even like until like we have this conversation, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe Empire was like
right
somehow influencing that snowy episode.
When you guys are developing this show, do you guys ever consider what the other Guardians are doing in the world as Groot's going on these like solo adventures?
I'm also just remembering that we do have a post-credits cameo. I always forget about it. Like was it Rocket? Post-credits cameo? We kept changing. I can't remember what it was. It was like with the hot cocoa at the very...
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so there, I keep forgetting. That was like one little secret one that we had in there. It's kind of, I think it's that kind of thing where we always imagine that they're like just off camera in the background, like speaking of Muppet Babies, it's kind of like, where there were times where we were like, maybe we see their feet only, just like it's like the mom or the parent in Muppet Babies. We always imagine they're nearby, that they might have a line or two off camera. Like, I think Drax was taking a shower in like one of our season 1 episodes, where it's like they're always around, they're always there, but he's kind of like a latchkey kid. So it's like he's sort of just they're in the background and he's doing his own thing and he's the focus.
I love that where Groot just steals Drax's soap and uses it with his nose. I think those episodes are phenomenal. So with these 5 episodes coming out in season 2, did you, if there's a season 3, if you guys want there to be season 3, would you guys stick to the same 5 episodes, about 5-minute shorts? Or would you think about expanding the season at all?
I'm not sure what they have in store. Yeah. Yeah, there's not much I can say about it because it could be expanded into a bigger thing. It could just be 5 shorts. I don't want to say just, 5 shorts are a lot of fun. Yeah. Up to the powers that be. I will.
Well, look, I think the show is absolutely incredible. It's so much fun. It's so gorgeous to look at, by the way, too. It's such you guys did such a phenomenal job. Thank you so much for your time, Kirsten. I really appreciate it.